Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm not going to talk too much about the technical analysis, but I want to talk about just general market psychology, general perspective on 2018, and just general psychology of the traders, the headline news. So because the reason I want to talk about this kind of things is because it really have a direct impact on how the Bitcoin price is getting being traded, what is looking like, how it's sitting in this junction. So that's why I want to talk about it. I want to cover those points so you're aware of it. All right, you're not taken by surprise, and when you are making your next trade, you are thinking from a different perspective. You're thinking from something out of the box for your next trade, as far as looking at the blind spots. So let's dive into it. So the topic of this video content is don't be a hero. Okay, the reason I wanted to keep this topic open, or make this video content on this, is you don't have to trade at every situation or every dip or every uptick. All right, sometimes it's okay to sit back. All right, sometimes it's just okay to sit back and absorb the overall picture, try to analyze the situation and not do anything. All right, you don't want to be the first one jumping in, going into the battle. So what I'm trying to say is, don't be a hero. Don't go in with all your position at this junction where you think that, hey, we have seen the bottom and I'm going to make an investment into XYZ, any altcoin that you might be looking at, or Bitcoin, or any of the other coins that you're looking at, and you think that, hey, we are at the bottom and I'm going to go all in. I'm going to tell you, that is not a good strategy. Going all in, as I have mentioned plenty of time in my videos before, is never ever a good strategy. Because if you go all in, you will be out of cash, investment cash, when the things become much better. Let's say if there's a one leg down tomorrow, it takes us down to 9,000 mark or even 8,000 mark, you will be out of cash, right? Because you went all in right here. All right, unless you put your stop loss, you will be out of cash. You won't have additional cash to invest. So buying in the phase approach is always a better strategy, and keeping your overall portfolio at least 15%, at least minimum for retail investors. I would 15% is even very low. You want to keep at least 15 to 20% of your portfolio in cash all the time. Okay, I want to say this again. As a retail investor, you want to keep at least 15 to 20% of your portfolio in cash all the time. Those are some good trading, investing habits. See, the thing about habits is the more you follow your habit, it becomes your it becomes part of you. It will be you won't get into the trades where you think there is a huge potential, but you're down on the cash. Let it go. Let those trades go. It's okay to let them go. One thing I can promise you is, you will always have an opportunity to make money in this market or any other market. There will market, any asset class, not just cryptocurrency, any stock market, real estate market, any asset class will give you opportunity to make money. Okay, so don't feel like this is my last train, I have to jump on it. If I don't, I will be left behind. Everyone will get ahead and I will be the loser. No, Trust me on that. I have done this plenty of time. I have time and time again, because I remember early in my trading days, back in early 2000, I used to go all in. I came when I talked with my mentor. A lot of things. You need to have a right mentor. That's another thing, because not having a mentor is having, like, you're going on a you're flying without a captain, or you're flying without, like, a navigation. So because you need to learn this kind of things from people who have already been in this kind of situation, who have enough experience, who have, like, seen the ups and downs of the market, not only in the cryptocurrency market, in the other markets like stock market, option market. So the thing about this kind of thing is you learn a lot of things from that. You learn a lot of the, like, things that have worked in past and things that did not work in past. All right. So having a mentor, like, is important, or having someone that you can trust. It doesn't have to be, like, someone that you like, physically, like, see every day. It's someone just, like, it's someone that you think who is realistic, someone who can guide you in a proper direction. So it's just having that instinct, so that will really help you to become a better trader. And having someone to guide you, it's always important, because you learn so many things from that person, because they have gone through these things. Like, when I was getting started in trading, when I was getting started, I started my first trade was back in 2003. I got into Google. I believe it was 2000. Sorry, it was 2004. I started my first trade with Google when they initially came out. So I've been trading since then. Before that was my official trade. Before that, I was trading with my parents' account. Right before that, I was, like, just like reading about it, and pretty much reading all the books and so forth, trying to absorb as much knowledge. But the real thing came from having a right mentor, having someone to kind of guide you through, someone you can trust. So that's kind of, like, what I'm trying to say is, like, having the right person to guide you is very crucial. Okay. Other thing I want to talk about is the headline news. Okay, so headline news right now in Bitcoin, let's look it up. So I was looking at this map that for richer or poor. Okay, all right. So basically, this is a performance, wealth market performance from 2007 to 2017. And it gives you an indicator of the overall world, like, if people are in which part of the world that people have, like, gained their like, wealth have gone up, and in which part of the world, like, their wealth have gone down. So as you can see, it's pretty, like, obvious, like, in Asia, Southeast Asia, China, India, Southeast Asia, like Australia, the wealth has increased tremendously, and on the reverse, the wealth have gone down somewhat in countries like Norway, UK, Greece, all the European countries. A lot of, like, overall the whole European country, if you look at it, the wealth have gone down, not significantly, I would say, but it definitely did not go up. So you are on the wrong side. So, and Venezuela, if you can see, on the South American country, negative 48%, thanks to their government predominantly. So what I'm saying is, even with the Bitcoin cryptocurrency, when I say a lot of the growth is going to come from the Asian market, this is what I mean. Look at the amount of wealth Where do you think the majority of this money that is going to come into Bitcoin and other altcoin to make it push higher? Where do you think it's going to come from? It's definitely not coming from the European countries. American countries, like somewhat you can expect like Americans to push the Bitcoin and like altcoin higher, but the main problem with the American dollar is it's not very fluctuating, as it's not a very devalued dollar. American dollar is still relatively strong, and it has proven itself over the years that it can withstand all the storms. So for example, if you have been following the market for long enough, like I have, in 2007, 2008, during the downtrend, major like currencies went down, but American dollar got stronger and stronger. Why did it get stronger? The only reason it got stronger is because people around the world, their faith into America being one of the last hope, as in like if everything goes to the shitstorm, everything falls, then people will be one asset or one currency that they can trust, that is American dollar. And that was the case in 2008. If you go look at the graph of US dollar, you will see American dollar did amazingly well compared to a lot of other currencies out there. All right, just because like American dollar backed by the American government, and people, when things go south, people want to have everything. People want to have people look up to government to come and rescue them, and that's what exactly happened. And that's when the American dollar was the strongest during that recession. Now, coming back to countries like China, India, Southeast Asian countries. These countries have a very young population. If you look at their population geographic, like if you look at their most of their population is just like, actually let me put it this way, majority of their population is in is a growing population. It's not a declining population like European countries, where their a major part of their population is on the downside, as in their aging population. This population right here, China, India, Vietnam, general Southeast Asian countries, their population is young population, and it's still growing population. So when they come across, the first thing they want to do is, they will get attached with technology. All right, the young people in their 20s, 30s, even 40s will get attached with the technology much faster than people in their 50s and 60s getting attached with the technology. And Bitcoin is a new technology revolution, whatever you want to call it. And that's where this younger population will get attached in time to come with cryptocurrency and all this new technology that's coming out. Second thing, people who already have money, especially in country like India, China, they don't trust the government over there. They really don't trust their government. Few things, because I'm not sure, a lot of people, I like to read headline news a lot, because that gives you a different angle on what's going on around the world. All right, so a couple of years ago, Indian government actually banned their 1,000 and I think it was 500 rupees currency. Their 1,500 rupees currency. So they just completely overnight, they completely took the 500 rupees and 1,000 rupees out of the market. Completely out of the market. And that then created a lot of panic in Indian government, in in the whole subcontinent, because government announced that they're not going, the bill that you hold, the 500 rupees or 1,000 rupees bill that you hold, it will be invalid. You have to go to the bank and get it exchanged or deposit into your bank, because the currency that you're holding in your pocket is going to be no longer valid no longer valid within like a span of, I think it was 2 weeks or something. I'm not going to give you exact data, but it was within 2 weeks. They said that if you hold any paper currency of 500 rupees or 1,000 rupees, it won't be valid after 2 weeks or so. And that happened. So a lot of people rushed to the bank, deposited all whatever cash they had in their pocket, in their house. And a lot of people had a lot of black money. So you have to also realize there is a lot of black money in Indian subcontinent and like, you know, Chinese market. A lot of people have like, you know, there's a lot of like, you know, black money sitting in this market. And what do you think those black money do you think those black money will evaporate overnight? No, that's not going to happen. That black money, those people, what they will do is they will come into cryptocurrencies, like, you know, the privacy coins, like we have been talking about, Onion, Monero, Verge, Dash. So they will get into those privacy coins because you cannot track it, because I mean, they already decided they don't want to pay taxes in their country on the income they have acquired. So they already decided that. So that money is called black money because you're not paying taxes on those money that you're getting. All right. So that money will come eventually into this crypto market. People are just waiting and watching, you know, how a lot of money that was sitting in the Swiss bank, you will see within a year or two, that money will start coming into this market. So this market is not going anywhere. This cryptocurrency market will be it's just beginning. It's just getting started. All this money, that's old money, you can call that old money, because there's people who have this lot of black money. They're more, majority of them are in their 50s and 60s, because they have acquired this wealth during the boom years in India, when in Indian subcontinent from 90s to recently, in all the IT sector boom that happened in India, in China when the whole boom happened with, like, you know, China opening their economy to the world, where they did the manufacturing, where you know, now China have become like a world manufacturer. So a lot of those business owners, they did not pay taxes to the government, and they hold those money in Swiss bank account in, like, you know, Cayman Islands. Those money will make their way into cryptocurrency. Those money will make their way. They're just waiting and watching the market right now, because they still don't trust it, because these people who have those money, they have worked for 20-30 years to acquire that millions of like dollar, if not billions. All right. So they're not going to simply just throw that money into the market, which is relatively new. So they're just waiting and watching right now. They're just waiting and watching. They're throwing in like a smaller, smaller currency, or smaller amount at a time. They're not going to, take all their money out of the Swiss bank and throw it into cryptocurrency or the privacy coins. They're just getting started, and this market is very new, and especially with all the headline news, it's going to be like that. So I just wanted to give you this overall picture of from the psychology of cryptocurrency, of the whole world, like how it's like panning out. So I'm trying to basically give you an overall picture of how is the market going to move from this junction around 10,000 or 11,000 right now into 20,000 and plus and beyond. All right. That's what I'm trying to tell you, or that's what I'm trying to emphasize. So coming back to the original point I was trying to make is, don't be a hero. So sometimes it's better to just sit back, relax, and just like watch the market, and don't have to jump onto every single like drawbacks. All right. And so just keep it like let's say right now, just because it's down right now doesn't mean you have to put your money into action. Wait until it clears out of this junction. Wait until then, right? If you put just a small amount to test the water, just small amount, like, you know, maybe 15-20% of your portfolio. Just test it out if you're getting started, and, like, you know, see how it's working out for you. But don't be a hero, because in this choppiness, it's hard to predict which way we are going. At least there might be one leg down, or we might break out of this pinch action overnight. It's hard to tell. I mean, we need the volume to confirm, and we need the second and third day of candlesticks on positive side or positive side to make sure that breakout is sustainable. All right. So that's pretty much it. You know, I wanted to just quickly cover this market psychology. What was in my mind? I was just trying to. I'm being very candid about like what I was thinking by looking at the chart, what I was by this headline news, what is coming, and what is, like, you know, what other like investors are reading. So trying to get a gauge of overall market and what direction we are going into. All right, so I hope this was helpful. I hope when you are trading, when you are investing, you look at this kind of like angles, or like you know, look at this kind of blind spots, because this will help you to become a better investor in longer run. All right, we don't want short-term spike and then, you know, decline. We don't want that. You know, you'll get burned out. Trust me, I have been there. I have been there, done that. It's so you'll get burned out. What we want is sustainable long-term growth, and first thing you need to have is a discipline. Second thing you need to have is, like, you know, you need to see the overall picture. Like, you need to see the overall picture, and look at the technicals too. Like, you know, that really fundamental will give you a good picture, but technical will support that, you know, that trade or that price action that you want to get into. All right. So I hope this was helpful. Please let me know what you think about it. Please post a comment. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like the video if you think you learned something today. And I always like to, like, you know, read those comments and get back to you as soon as possible. One thing I realized, I haven't mentioned much about myself in the about section, but like I will draft something soon. But basically, I have been trading since, like, you know, actively trading, and let's put it this way, I've been actively trading since 2003-2004 time frame. I have been, like, you know, I started my trading with option market. I got into like, you know, futures market, commodities market, equities. I never really got involved more into penny stocks because I never really believed in them. So but I did my fair share of day trading, and I still do it. I still do day trading for, like, futures market. It's very profitable if you know what you're doing, and it trades on technicals, pivot points, and a lot of the pit trader, they watch those level. So I'll post something, like, you know, a little bit about my background in the about section of the channel, so at least you know a little bit about myself, my background, and how I got into this, and all that. All right, so thank you again, and talk to you soon. All right, bye.